Good morning, everyone. It is, gosh, it's getting close to Christmas. If everything goes right, you'll be seeing this on Wednesday, the day before Christmas Eve. So I hope you guys are doing well and getting ready for a great Christmas holiday. We are. By the time you see this, I think we'll be on our way to California for a few days. But I wanted to get this one done. This video is going to encompass several different things. One, I haven't carved our template of the month for December yet, and it's almost Christmas, so I'm way late on that. So I want to carve that little elf. And secondly, I want to address an issue with sanding. So, babe, if you can pan down here, I am going to lay out this sign, and actually I'm going to I'm going to make it and give it to my daughter-in-law who loves this movie. But who doesn't love this movie? Me. Yeah, Vicky doesn't love this movie. Actually, I've never seen this movie, but I've seen clips and it looks pretty good. Anyway, so in case you guys don't know, now as a replacement to the sanding sealer, I am messing around with using the clear gloss, coats of the clear gloss on the pine to try and prevent bleeding. So I've got I might have 3 coats on here, but I've got at least 2 coats because I tried one coat and it bled. So now I've got at least 2 or 3 coats. I can't remember, but I got at least 2 coats of this on here to prevent bleeding. So that's number 1. Number 2, just in case you guys have missed the recent videos, these 2 are exactly the same. This is a regular primer. This is I believe it's the same formulation, same nozzles. Everything's the same, except I think it is a different label. But you can find this in the automotive section. You might even find it in automotive parts houses. But this stuff, as far as I can tell so far, and I've been using it for a while, works exactly the same as this flat primer. In our Amazon store, this is available. This is not. I don't know why, but that's just the way it is. Anyway, so let's get this thing sprayed. See, it looks and feels exactly like that other primer product. All right, we're going to let this dry for a few minutes. We're going to come right back and carve it. All right, guys, let's get this thing carved. So I'm going to use the carving liner, and because there's some pretty tight spots in here. There's a lot of it I probably could use a profile, but it's not that much. So I've got the carving liner in there, and I've got it set just about 1/8 of an inch. And we'll get that done, then we'll come back with the profile bit. So let's get this going here. Guys, now we're going to hook up the profile bit. We'll be right back and we'll use the profile bit. All right, folks, we got the profile bit in, and I've got it set at right at 1/4 of an inch. And this is an older profile bit, so it cuts a pretty hefty line, which is what I want. So that should work well for me. We'll find out here in a sec. Here we go. That's good. Thank you. Okay, guys, so a couple things. First of all, especially for new people, in case you don't know, the reason I went back in here and cut a wider line with the profile bit is just to give myself room when I go back in with my 90 degree and take this stuff out. Second thing is, this is pine. So this is select pine, and I talked about, sealing this up with that clear spray. I only do that on pine. If I'm carving cedar or redwood or some other kind of woods, I really don't do that. I only do it with pine because pine has a tendency to bleed when you spray the black on. All right, so I'm going to carve these two off camera. Then when we come back, we'll do the background and we'll move on. All right, folks, so I want to do something a little bit different on here on this edge. I wanted to, you guys really like the edges that I have when I'm doing those drawer fronts. And so this is normally just my round over bit, but if I set it deep enough, it'll leave that step in there. So I have to build it up. This is just a little board I made specifically for this. It's got rubberized, that padding on both sides. And this way I can raise it up because this is deeper than the thickness of the pine. So I just have to raise it. You can do it a lot of different ways, bench cookies or whatever. But anyway, so I've done half of it on off camera. I'm going to do the other half on camera right now. So let's see. Yeah, we can do it that way. All right, so now we'll come back and I'm going to go ahead and spray this black off camera, and then we're going to come back and move on to the next step. All right, guys, so now I've sprayed it black, used the primer, sprayed it black. Now, because I'm going to stain this, I'm going to seal in the black with the clear spray. And normally speaking, I would probably do this off camera, but just this is what seals in the black so that it doesn't run or run or bleed when I put the stain on. Okay, so we're going to let that dry. We'll come back and we'll sand it. All right, guys, I've already done the back. Didn't need to do that on camera. But let me explain what's going on here. I know it looks wet, but that's just because of the first time I ever did it was like, man, it just won't, it looks wet. But anyway, that's the clear on top of the black. But let me explain what's going on here. I'm going to use my disc sander. I've got my 60 on there, and let me explain why I'm using my 60, which I do a lot, but on here it's really important. So if you think about what's sitting on this board right now, there's on the bare wood, there's at least 2 coats of clear, maybe 3. Then there's a coat of black from the layout. Then there's another coat of black, 2 coats of black, and then there's a coat of clear. So there's like 5 or 6 coats on here, and we got to sand it all down to bare wood so then we can stain it. So that's one of the main reasons I like the coarse 60 grit, especially for an instance like this, that I can get through that stuff. And I'm using my this is a fairly small board, so I'm using my sanding board just kind of keep it from moving all over the place. Here we go. Now you see the black is starting to cake up on there, so you definitely want to get yourself one of these sanding belt cleaners, and that should take that off there. If it doesn't, it'll take most of it. Yeah, pretty much most of it. But let me show you a trick. The one that I was doing the other day, that big 12 by 24, it was gumming up really bad on my sanding belt. And let me show you what I kind of discovered. That is a time saver. You saw I picked this up and did that, but check this out. So I don't use this vise very often. In fact, I didn't think I would ever use it, but I use it more than I thought I would. But if you have, and you don't have to do it this way if you don't have one of these benches, but if you have some kind of an apparatus where you can clamp it down, then you can clean your disc that way and not have to pick it up and hold it and all of that. Beside the fact that that can be a little tricky and unsafe, because if you get it off kilter, there goes your knuckle. Don't ask me how I know that. So let's clean that one more time. You can see we do have a little bit of black on there, but nothing like we would if we didn't use that sanding belt cleaner. So that disc is still actually pretty good. So let's do the finish sand on it. So now you don't really have to worry about it because you're back to bare wood on everything. So I've got a 120 on my random orbital. Here we go. Yeah, I like that edge. Looks pretty cool. All right, we're going to set up, come right back, and we'll put some stain on it. Okay, so I really like this gunstock stain. I've got to play around with other stains too, but this gunstock I think looks so cool. So what I'm going to do different this time is I'm going to use a sponge applicator. Someone actually, in fact, I'll put the name of the person that suggested I try using the sponge applicator, and I think I'll get maybe a little bit better result. So I'm going to put it on with the sponge applicator, and then I'm going to start at this end and work left to right. Put it on with the sponge applicator, and then wipe it down from there. And this person said that it's a little less likely that you'll get over the edges into the groove if you use a sponge applicator, which actually I like. And it's a heck of a lot faster, too. You just have to be careful, he said, and that makes sense. You got to be careful that you don't overdo it on the sponge. But I really like this gunstock stain on the pine. And on the poplar, too. I did it on poplar the other day. So this is, again, for my daughter-in-law, Amy.
The top corner of the E. Yeah.
Did I miss anything?
I don't think so. Actually, yeah, right there.
The tip of the F there? Okay. So now I'm just going to wipe it down. Yeah, I like that process a lot better than I like the just putting it on a rag and dabbing it right there on the tip of the F.
There you go.
So there's a couple tips for you guys of stuff that I haven't done before. I'm gonna put a stain, or I'm gonna put a finish on this, but I'm gonna do that off camera because this has got to dry for a few hours before I start putting a clear finish on it. But I'll just end up putting the clear gloss on it, and you guys know what that looks like. So anyway, Merry Christmas, Amy. This is for you. I know you never watch my videos, so you won't know, but I'm going to hand this to you. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, obviously, always email me, eric@makeawoodsign.com. And I think you may see one more video before Christmas. But anyway, guys, Merry Christmas to you all. Thank you so much for an amazing year for our company. And all the love that you guys give us is just overwhelming sometimes. But we appreciate all of the support and you guys watching and the comments on YouTube. So email me questions. Keep giving us thumbs up and sharing the video and commenting on YouTube. That's important. And we'll see you on the next video. Merry Christmas, guys. Bye-bye.